Alright guys, so what's going on? So the Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor fight just got announced, I think today. They made it official. And yeah, let's break it down. So first let's talk about Dustin Poirier. I mean, people who don't know the sport probably think like, oh, it's gonna be an easy fight for Conor. But no, this fight, in my opinion, if we talk about the hardest fights Conor has had, I feel like Nate and Chad Mendes are the only hard fights that he's ever had. Habib, I don't think that was a hard fight for him. I think he just got dominated. He didn't really, he came out and said he didn't prepare as well, and I believe him because he was drinking prior to the fight. So I feel like with Habib, he just got dominated. So I don't consider that a hard fight for him. He just got outclassed, rightfully so. That was not his night. Alright guys, and Dustin Poirier has 7 fight of the night bonuses, 1 submission of the night, and 3 performance of the night bonuses. So in total he has 11 bonuses in the UFC. I mean, this man can fight. He brings the fire. So let's talk about his last fight against Dan Hooker, which is one tough guy. He went how many rounds with Edson Barboza. He just beat up his leg. Edson Barboza just kept kicking his leg, yeah, and all that. And rightfully so. It was a battle. It was a war. It was fight of the night and contender of fight of the year, in my opinion. So with that fight, one thing that really stood out to me was Poirier's ability to fight on his back. Not on his back, but his back to the fence. I'll show a couple clips right now. Dan Hooker's pressure was on point that night. He would get hit and keep coming forward, and I feel like a lot of people do that to Poirier. They make him tire himself out, try to tire himself out, because when you pressure him, he tends to poke, and then a hard shot. I'll show on the screen right now.
Some respect and get Justin moving back a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was heavy.
But I feel like Dan Hooker did a good job of pressuring him, and Dustin Poirier did a good job of pressuring Dan Hooker. But the thing that stood out to me was that Dustin Poirier was doing a lot of damage to Dan Hooker when he was fighting to his back against the fence. Dan Hooker would come forward, Dustin Poirier would unload those vicious hooks. And yeah, that fight was a great example of his heart and his will to get one back. And yeah. Alright, and so yeah, I think it was a decision win to Dustin Poirier against Dan Hooker. His last fight after that was Habib, obviously, but against Habib, I feel like it was so hard to hit Habib because Dustin Poirier would get some opportunities to unload with that straight and this hooks that he does. But Habib does this weird thing when he backs up. He does something like this, not a traditional backing up, he just does some wild head, try to get away. And I could see that in the face of Poirier, because he was almost looking at him trying to figure out what to do. And yeah, that fight was just all Poirier. I think Habib was doing somewhat good, and then once he got that takedown in the first round, he just completely dominated the whole round, and that kept happening. Dustin did get that choke, that guillotine on Habib, but Habib escaped. He did a good job on pressing the head and then moving to the side, which allowed him to get some air. And yeah, that was a good fight of Habib. But yeah, and then his last fight after that was Max Holloway. Again, showed some real great display of heart. He landed a beautiful punch on Max Holloway, which actually rocked him. And again, in that fight, I saw that Dustin Poirier would unload with his back to the fence, because obviously Max Holloway's pressure, his cardio, it's almost, they have the similar somewhat style. They poke. But Dustin Poirier does tend to poke, and then a hard shot. Max Holloway is more poke, down, poke the whole night. But yeah, that fight was a good fight, really good fight. But Dustin Poirier won it to win and he became the interim champ. The fight prior to that was against Eddie Alvarez the second time, and that fight was really good. It was a really good fight, actually. And in that fight, I also saw that Dustin Poirier tends to start with the straight and then do his hooks. Traditional, boxing, or like Max Holloway, stuff like that, Calvin Kattar, they tend to like, jab and then do whatever, but Dustin Poirier's straight is so fast and so powerful that alone could do it. So yeah, he does that. It's really good technique, and he won that fight in the second round TKO. And the fight prior to that, which is already the list is going on: Dan Hooker, Khabib, Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, then Justin Gaethje, my personal favorite fighter. His footwork is power. I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, against Gaethje, it went a little different. That was the most damage he took to the leg, the inside of his leg. Justin Gaethje kept kicking it. But one thing that Dustin Poirier did good was, once Justin Gaethje let that kick go, Dustin Poirier would go with that hook right away. But yeah, one thing that Dustin Poirier did good against Justin Gaethje was investing in his body as the fight progressed. The beginning two rounds, I actually gave Dustin Poirier the first round, because the thing that Justin Gaethje did against Poirier was kept pressuring him with that footwork, and Poirier obviously would do the pop to the body. But it was tired, that you would think that would tire someone out, because that's all he would do. He would back up, he would be backing up, and then and that's very tiring. Justin Gaethje did a good job of pressuring him. But like I said, Dustin Poirier fights really good when you pressure him. He unloads with the hooks, and Justin Gaethje would kick his inside leg, and Dustin Poirier would fire right back with a hook right when the leg kick would land. And he actually called Justin Gaethje a couple times, stunned him a couple times. Yeah, that was a good fight, really dog fight. But Dustin Poirier got the win again, TKO in the 4th round. Alright guys, one more fact about Poirier. So about how I was talking about a while ago, Poirier tends to picker, and then long, big shot. And he has some really long combinations where he would do that. He would pick, and then head kick. I saw some clips right now. He's really creative. He goes to the body, hook, boop, and then kick. So he's really creative with those. But the only downfall is when he throws his left, his hand is right here. So he throws it, his hand's right here. What does Conor do the best? I mean, more than anything, his counter strikes. But he did a beautiful slip. No, was it? No, it was like this and then like that. So he slipped to the right, and then I feel like Conor might catch him with one of those. Again, Conor's power is on another level, to be honest. And again, Dustin Poirier's chin, I mean, he's fought Dan Hooker, Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, Pettis, Gaethje, man, and no one has seemed to put him away. Only what was his name? Michael Johnson. I think that was his debut in lightweight, and it didn't go well. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, other than that, no one has been able to put him away. So this is gonna be a good fight. I feel like Dustin Poirier's key to victory in this fight is to mix it all up, because he tends to get in brawls, and just like Gaethje, that method, sooner or later is gonna fail. For example, Gaethje went on a tear, all brawls, every fight was fight of the night, until he fought Eddie Alvarez, and then Eddie Alvarez invested in the body, got him tired, put him away. Again with Dustin Poirier, brawl, Dustin Poirier invested in the body, put him away. So that style of fighting is effective at a certain level. But I feel like in this fight he's gonna be more. He has to be, because Conor is by far one of the dangerous, if not the most dangerous fighter in the lightweight ever. With his hands, with his combination, with his counter strike. So I feel like his key to victory here is to threat the takedown, because he does. He he took Anthony Pettis down like 2-3 times, so he has it in him. I think I'm pretty sure he's a black belt. So, he has it all. So he has the kicking, he has the punches, he has the takedown, he has the submissions. So Dustin Poirier can do it all, but his job, to me, in my opinion, is to go to the legs, threat the takedown, and later round, fatigue Conor. And one thing that I saw in the Khabib fight was Conor, his conditioning has gone way better. In the fourth round, he was fresh, but whatever happened. But I feel like the key to victory to Dustin Poirier is to go to the legs, invest in the body, threat the takedown, and put him away. Alright guys, so now let's talk about the one and only Conor McGregor, the most controversial fighter, in my opinion, in all time in MMA, without a doubt, the biggest star ever. So let's break down his last fights. His most recent fight in his last fight was against Donald Cerrone, as we all saw. Pure domination. But most of that was Donald Cerrone has a reputation of not showing up on big fights. They say it was maybe the lights were too bright, because fighting Conor, it doesn't get bigger than fighting Conor, and Donald Cerrone just wasn't there. The right Cerrone that could have beat Conor did not show up, and that's that. He beat him that devastating head kick. His fight prior to that was against Khabib. We all saw that. That wasn't the best Conor. That just wasn't the best Conor. And he just dominated the pressure of Khabib. But he was the first fighter, I'm pretty sure, to win a round against Khabib. I don't know if in the UFC or in all time. But he was the first fighter to win a round against Khabib. And then the fight prior to that, the best he's ever looked, in my opinion, against Eddie Alvarez to win the 2 titles. The champ. In that fight, he did so many good things. This is probably one of the best moments that I remember from Conor McGregor, when he stepped back right fast and then came with the 1-2. I'll show it on the screen right now. Clinic. He displayed a clinic against Eddie Alvarez, and he just outworked him and outperformed him. Best he's ever looked, and it doesn't get better than that. Prior to that was the 2 Nate fights. The first one, you could tell Conor was excited. He was too excited. Walking to the octagon, in the octagon, and that takes up a lot of your energy. A lot of fighters like to be calm before the fight, because, being that excited, and, if you've seen the fights, he was way too hyped up, and rightfully so, but, he was way too hyped up. He gassed himself out, trying to take Nate out. The second fight, which is an interesting one, because obviously he went to the leg right off the bat. He kept going to the leg, beat up the leg. He got like 3 knockdowns with his counters. And the thing is, he spent a lot of money in that camp to not fatigue again, and make his conditioning better. And in the second round, he started to gas. So I feel like, he still has that problem of fatiguing, because that was a, pretty, I'm sure he spent a good amount of time to not try and lose to Nate. I didn't plug in my microphone, but and then the prior to that, which is the last one, no, actually 2, was the Aldo fight, 13 seconds, speechless. And then Chad Mendes, the first fight that was scheduled, him and Aldo, but Aldo pulled out. Chad Mendes, he is susceptible to those takedowns, but the thing that he showed against Chad Mendes, Eddie Alvarez, and Khabib was those teeps. He has amazing teeps. staggering at that body. He played it really good against Chad Mendes because Chad Mendes didn't have a full camp. So he knew coming into that fight, Chad was not going to be prepared. He wasn't going to be on the same level as him. He wasn't going to be as prepared as Conor. So he stagged. He kept poking at that body. Another thing is he is susceptible to chokes, and he does, not quit, but he does fade dramatically when the fight goes on. Example, against Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, man, that is like how many rounds? I don't even know. That was his longest fight. He slowed down against Habib. Didn't slow down like a lot, but he wasn't as fresh as the first round. Against Chad Mendes, he was fatiguing, you can tell. And obviously the Nate fights, both of them, he started to fatigue. The second fight he fatigued and then worked himself up. He has lightning fast hands, which I feel like might play a factor, might go in his way in this fight against Poirier, because like I said, Poirier tends to fire that left with his hand down, and as you've seen, fighters like Nate Diaz, again, heavy on that front foot, that long jab, and Conor seemed to slip and counter. I'll show on the screen right now, and his left hand. I mean, who has better accuracy? In my opinion, he's the most accurate fighter with his hands in the lightweight division throughout the welterweight division. The lightweight division to the welterweight division. I feel like he's the most accurate in that division, in those two divisions. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about Conor because he hasn't fought a lot, not since 2016, I think. I mean, he's fought twice in like 2 years. I don't know, but when you get to the level that he is at, you're not expected to fight a lot. So there's not a lot to talk about. But yeah, guys, my final prediction is, look, this is how it's gonna go in my opinion. I feel like Conor is gonna pressure him a lot, because you could see every single fight that Dustin Poirier is in, he gets pressured a lot and backed up. But I feel like Conor's too smart to go in as wild as Gaethje, as Daniel Hooker, because when they pressured him, they just kept eating those hooks. I feel like Conor, with his footwork, is gonna be calm. He's gonna see those shots coming, pick. He's gonna counter him. But I feel like this is not gonna be a first round KO. I just feel like the amount of power Conor uses up a lot of his energy, and I feel like Conor's gonna want to put him away early, because the more the fight progresses, the stronger Poirier is gonna get. So I think I'm sort of leaning towards Conor early. Even Poirier can catch him early too. That's the thing. So it's not one of those matchups where Conor early, so and so later, because either one of them can get the job done in the first round. I mean, Dustin Poirier, he's put away fighters in the first 2 rounds, and he's looking big. So that man has some serious power. And every 2 fights are not the same. So I don't think Conor will bulldoze him like the first fight. But Conor's conditioning does look like it's improved. Like, I don't think, and with his McGregor Fast program, damn well he's been working on his conditioning. So, because it's gonna be a war. This is gonna be a war. I know it. I feel like Conor fifth round TKO. Yeah. I think he's gonna finish him in the later rounds. Conor hopefully turns up and is working on his conditioning, because that rightfully so is gonna be his key to victory here. Plus some other things, but if he's not there with 5 rounds secured that he could fight the whole fight, I think Poirier's got in the bag, but other than that, I feel like Conor's gonna win 5th round. No, not 5th round, 4th round. 4th round TKO Conor McGregor. I'm gonna go back looking at this video when the fight's done. I'm gonna see if I was right. I'll see if my predictions were right. But yeah, I feel like Dustin Poirier, final, and I'm ending the video. Dustin Poirier is gonna get backed up. He's gonna throw his long combinations. Conor's gonna counter him, but that won't put him away. Like I said, 4th round, I feel like he's gonna take too much damage, and he's susceptible to those leg kicks. I feel like Conor's gonna go to those leg kicks. I feel like whoever starts off fast and sets their ground first. So if Conor goes to the legs or starts, picking at the head, he'll get the job done. So I feel Conor McGregor 4th round TKO. Let's go.
I don't wanna sign off. Mama love me so I can't do no wrong. Mama in the trap, so this our favorite song.